Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. We are about to start our morning routine here. We do have a relative disparity in the count of our apparently inequitable browser locations. So I guess the opening explorer in my Lichess.
It's a big weekend.
DG Road, namaste. We need a shout out for DG. Yes, there are 500 or almost 500, if not 500, entries to the New York State Girls Championship this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, here in New York City, hosted by the New York State Chess Association and littlehouseofchess.org. If you wish to see a local calendar of events,
recognize girls' attendance at CGPS.
1972 chess, good morning. Let me put that on my list of stuff to do. Exclam.
Crowed. Said. Tanny Justice and Brewington are playing a Norm event.
And Nico finished up his event in Brazil, the World Youth Championships, under age 20, under age 18. All right, what do we need here as black? I think I need C6s. Let me just go with C6 for now. I think I needed C6 against absolutely everything except, who knows?
Crowed. Said. And Nico is 7-3 at World Youth Open 18 last round today.
Oh, so today is the last round. Yes. He's 7-3. Is he? He's got a shot at the top 10. I think the last I heard.
Crowed.
Let's just castle.
Said. He has a chance to medal or finish very strong with a win.
Let's cross our fingers for him. All right. My opponent has started off with an anti-minority attack move here, as though I was going to play the move b5. But if we are going to play the move b5, we're going to need a lot more than that. Let's see what we can get on him here. Just maybe the weakness of his squares will tell. I know he's planning on playing knight e5, knight takes e5, d takes e5. Oh no. And now for the moment of truth. Can I? Can I do what I want to do? Can I really play this move without getting mated? I don't think so. I think I have a little bit of a problem here. But maybe. 3 pawns for the piece. All right, let's go for it. Let us go for it. Do a little bit of lockdown work here. We're going to lift and shift. Interesting. I'm not sure what you think you're going to get out of that deal, but let's find out. It was definitely an interesting move. Now we have bishop takes f2 as a threat. Maybe not. How about an encore? Do we have an encore? Okay. He's trying for what? Turned down for what? Is he going to sack the exchange? He's already down a pizza. Let's cross our fingers that he's going to sack the exchange. He has not let up enough for me to get this bishop into this rook into play. Okay, so we're gonna tag. Oh, he had check. Bishop takes. Queen moves, bishop check, and I can't take anything, unfortunately. That's too bad. But maybe I don't need to take anything. Maybe I just need to threaten to take stuff.
Grode said. Nico is on board 5, got another white last 2 rounds playing Saad Elmi from Norway 2380 fighting.
All of the Norwegians are extremely underrated. Do not trust them at all. So here, check, there, check, everywhere, check, check. Let's just keep up the pressure. We did get our rook into the game. Little did we know that we were getting our rook into the game. We have another one where that came from. He can try to create some counterplay here. I'm not sure what you're up to, sir. He's trying for some Gegenspiel. I think he has to exchange one pair of rooks just to avoid further exchanges. Okay then. Checkers. Checkers. More checkers. And even more checkers. I just have to watch out. There's nothing going on over here, by the way. There's absolutely nothing going on in this particular instance. He's got a whole lot of nothing. When there's a bishop on g7 and there are no other attackers, we should be good. So DG, what time does the event start? 10 a.m., right? I think the first round is at 10 a.m. 9 a.m. for some sections, the one-day sections. I did entertain the thought of playing. I need let's see, we got the Caro-Kann and we got H3 in. I got a couple of H3s in yesterday. And so therefore, we have a Caro-Kann as black.
Road said.
I think we got another Caro-Kann.
Everyone today.
Do I wish to do this way? This move doesn't fit in at all. Don't wish to weaken my long diagonal, but...
Grode said, of course no ABCD trains to 96th.
Of course no. In fact, I heard that they're shutting down the A line, which is going to create insurmountable problems for me. Awesome. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted that break to be able to play F4.
They are shutting it down past Howard Beach.
Yes, they are definitely shutting it down past Howard Beach. That is me, unfortunately. So in theory, I can get to Howard Beach. Let's say we did. I don't know if we need C4 in. Principal chess. So far, I haven't moved the same piece twice. Since Tuesday. It even started on Tuesday, actually. I have experienced an incredible amount of anxiety for reasons many of you might already understand. It's very annoying to me, to say the least. I'm a little late with bishop e3. I should have gotten it in before. Silly me, as he now has the opportunity to play knight to d4. But we get to weaken his e5 pawn. And continue on the kingside expansion. I think Grandmaster BHK got me yesterday. I'm not sure if I got myself. No, I survived. Somehow I survived. Principal chess. And that move. I have no idea where you think you're going on that move. Okay. Are you playing f5? I might be willing to take on f5 if you're willing to take that risk. Let us see. Now we may be able to slip into the f2 square or queen d2, rook a e1. This is the norm that actually happens when stuff happens. So on f5 now, that's a good question. What in the world are you up to, sir? Knight e3? Knight d4, knight d5, knight g3, knight g3, knight g3. Do I fight for this one? Or do I just take one? Let's see, so bishop h4. That was an interesting move, I'll admit it. I'm still curious about black playing f5. Can we start improving our pieces, or should we just continue to keep the pressure on? Knight d4, knight g3. No way, who's he mean? Alright, let's just batten down the hatches a little bit. The last candidate move, I believe, is the best move. Just locking down on this. That. Queen e6, knight takes c7. Alright, I'm game. I'm not a big fan of giving up that powerful knight.
We all spoke to Nico on Zoom yesterday after his game.
Nice. I was in the middle of a run to IKEA.
Said. He joined the afternoon call.
Fortunately. So what is his threat? I think I need to chase him some more. Let's take the rook and see what his big idea is. So is he going to play bishop check? I don't know. But I do know that I need to get more pizzas in this general direction. Might have loosened my e5 square for no reason.
Said. Started with DD Thursday, going for start with NMG and JG after they return.
Nice. They really need it. The more that we can help, the merrier. And now for something completely indifferent. Is he going to do it? I thought he might do that. So now if we attack his queen, he does take once. We take on 8. Let's just hold our center. We're just holding. Nothing too fancy. Limiting, holding, preparing. And bishop takes, knight takes. Who would know? Bishop takes, rook takes. Who would know? But who would? E5, D5 is actually quite good as well. What? Oh, you're getting that. I see. I see. You're getting that. I see. I see. And then he plays bishop takes, and it's a discovery. Fine. We get to trade queens. And this knight is coming in. Right? So I don't have a choice. And he has a lot of active play here. He's got bishop check, taking that free pizza. How do I get here from there? Who knows what to do? Bishop check. That's very annoying. So we're up the exchange, but what is it worth? What is it really worth? We can only hope that he gets greedier. Because now he has a back rank problem. And because he has a back rank problem, we're getting more material out of it than we could have ever imagined. Chess. First things first. Let's batten down the hatches just a little bit on the forward moving options. And then we will secure. We will secure an attack on at least one pawn or two. Yes, we're going to get one more thing out of this deal. I don't really want his king near the center, so let's drive him over. I don't want him to have that either. Did he really do that to himself? Now he's set up a stalemate, for what it's worth. Or is it stalemate? That is the question. The big old oops. Yep, the big old oops. He had to sack the G pawn first before I got my pawn to A7, but I was going to ignore it. The same way I ignored it in the game. Almost the same way. I might have played rook F7 just to get his bishop off of that and then zook him.
Said. Nice.
The old 1972 chess is a great year. That is a great name, sir. I am FIDE trainer and National Master John MacArthur, teaching principles and fundamentals toward the highest level as fast and as rapidly as possible. Charles numero uno is here. Ron Hay has joined the mix. He wasn't in there for a little while. Namaste, Ron. Alright, I believe this is my last H3, but I'm not sure. I'm hoping that it is. Crossing my fingers that it is my final h3. And how useful will it be to have h3 in? Con Sicilians, e6 and a6. It's actually quite useful. Well, I'm not sure how useful it is here, though. So my opponent may be onto something. In a c3 Sicilian variety, I'm not sure how useful it is, but we'll find out. Did he win against a 2000 rated opponent? Okay, interesting. Is he going for an e5 pawn variety? I don't know. It's a very good question. The great thing about arenas is that they are a fixed, absolutely fixed event structure. Well, that's interesting. He's going for it. I admit it. He's going for it. I feel like I should grab space. But Queen A5, Knight E4, all of those moves just don't seem to mix. If I take the pawn, he has to move the knight twice.
Grode said, please tell Anderson to lock his seat at Hunter this weekend if he is trying to play there.
Oh, that's a good point. I need to message him. Is he working today at the girls? Do we know?
Said, his section is going to reach capacity soon.
Indeed. Alright, well, I don't have much of a choice. I do have to do something about the conflict here. D takes e5, knight e4, bishop d2. Let's just do it that way. And if queen a5,
Road.
queen b3...
Said, he might be tomorrow.
This way we actually get him to move the same piece twice. True. It is almost time for us to continue getting our pizzas out.
Grode said, champ and future masters reserve boosters sell out, primary and juniors last longer.
True. The good players want a place to play. We've always wrestled with, what does it take to get these players? What in the world? I'm not threatening if I do take that, so we're just going to continue developing our pizzas as best we can. And pretending like he's not doing anything to us. I need a castle before a3 is a threat. Okay, fine. He is moving the same piece again and again. I don't mind this at all. So can we hold on to our extra pawn? It does look like we might be able to hold on to our extra pawn. So let's just offer him further exchanges here. So what is his plan for getting to this pawn? His knight needs to go to g6 or d8, f8. How does he get there from here? His pawn structure is very unusual. Yes, we are giving back a pawn. Or are we? We might be. Not sure what I'm doing here. Honestly, I really am not sure what I'm doing here. So, he still has the threat of bishop a6. So what can it be? He is getting there slowly, but there is a little bit of a back rank weakness as well. Bishop takes c4, bishop e2, bishop takes f3, and hoo-yah, hoo-yah. We have to follow through on our threats. Since move 1, we've not had a back rank weakness. Can't you find you're the one for me to see? Can't you be? You're the one. You're the one for me. This pawn could be weak. That pawn could be weak. The back rank could be weak. This pawn is not threatened. Yes. Oh, is he going to do that to me? Can't you see for me? Can't you see? You're the one for me. Can't you see? Yes, he now has an official threat. And I do not. Can't you see? Can't you see for me? Can I go for it? Can I threaten to take, pin, bother, and then attack? Yes, I can. I can try anyway. So we first give him a checkup. Then we give him another checkup. And then we give him a little look-see. Quick calculation exercises. Hold on, we need to do a little bit of a look-see on our player tab. Oh, it's all messed up. As white, I do not know how many H3s I truly have. In theory, I have 220, but here it says I have 212. So I don't think I can trust any of these to be correct. If I don't play it, is it done in the cache? Is the opening explorer really calculated in the cache of your machine? Are you the only one that can tell what's going on? Strange, right? Well, it is working. H6. So we're indexing 27 other players first. Shouldn't take too long, right? But is this cache really held on our machine? It's hard to believe, right? That this cache is really held on our machine. Doesn't seem right. So, new refrigerator arrived yesterday. The kitchen revamping is underway.
Chess said 4.
4? Oh, I got 4 points. That is true. I can take a break for a moment. Stefan Lam is excelling. I really want to work with Stefan Lam. I don't know who he's working with at the moment. Indexing one other player first. As much as I refresh, I swear to God, I have a laptop behind me that says that I am at 2,703 E4s. And it is true that I've gotten 2 more. Since this one said 2690 when the other machine says 2703. So whose numbers am I going to choose to believe? That is the question. Whose numbers do I choose to believe? Very disconcerting. And on the other machine, yesterday morning, and then if I play on my phone, do they not register here? Right? So my phone index could be different. Which one is the correct index? If I really do want to zero out all of my moves, this is not helping. Not helping at all. It's craziness, right? So H3 on the first move. And what else do I need, right? I need 2 G4s, but I got 2 G4s in yesterday. So that number may be correct. It says 248. And it says 248 here. So I'm wondering if they're all just going to take some time. 255 in the C3 department. In the B3 department, I have 265 on the other machine. Here it says 255. Let's blow this thing up just so that everybody can see what's going on. Really, I should work on my winning percentages with E3. That's probably what I can only rely on, is working on my percentages. Leveling out all of my percentages to above 60%. 60% or better. How about that? With A4, F3. A4 at 215 is correct. H4 at 200 is correct. I feel like they restored from a backup, but then when I looked on my other computer, I was fine. So let's look at black, right? Against E4, I believe I have zeroed out at 1650 my Carocons, my Sicilians. For whatever reason, they're not showing. Let's go to another game. That's all I can say. Well, I've been streaming for 40 minutes. It took Lee Chess 2 minutes. Whoops, that's too far back. How do I get there from here? Carocon and other openings? Okay, so here I am, black. Got it. Let's do it. Just to try to kickstart them. Knight C6. E6. I've also played bishop takes F3, but E6 is definitely the most solid. Just bishop E7, nothing too serious. H6 before castling, usually. So Ariel Zamora and I have not played this variation since January of 2023. That's crazy. So castles. No games found. But it doesn't tell me that it's indexing black. That's very disconcerting. So after E4, according to this, I have 1583, 1584. But in reality,
Chess King Siddharth said, which app you play chess?
I usually prefer Lee Chess. On average, namaste. Check out my playlist of best games. I'm about to go through my Lee Chess online games to see if I can create a different playlist for my best online games. If that's possible. Streamlabs are a little overdue for showing up on YouTube for the moderation tools. But at least he's there. So, my opponent played knight f3. I guess I'm just going to continue as usual here in this arena and let this index work itself out as needed. And that way, we can try to keep our lead. Did Grandmaster BHK win against a 2000 opponent? Ah, he did. Beat Charles numero uno. Now we have plenty of time. There's no reason to rush any moves. Absolutely no reason to rush. The most important thing about an arena is analyzing your games afterwards. That is absolutely the most important thing, is be certain to analyze your games afterwards. Let's make sure that WhatsApp is open. Interesting. I should make sure that I make a move. So in theory, I believe that I need so many more Caro-Khans. So let's stay with the Caro-Khan for the moment until we catch up with our... But I thought I already played Ariel Zamora in this. Didn't I? Okay. He's helping. He's helping, ladies and gentlemen. Now we just have to watch out for bishop h7 check. I don't seem to have a problem here with this, right? Let's just get out of dodge on that one. Bishop e7, bishop takes d2. Wow. That was a very unique and interesting move. Ariel Zamora must be bothered by the latest election results as well. Really? If I play queen f4, g3, bishop takes f3. Everybody is pinned now. Bishop takes f3 straight away was also very good, followed by queen f4.
Grode said, Manhattan smells like smoke wildfires in Jersey.
Really? Because there are wildfires in New Jersey? That's insane. Absolute craziness. Interesting. Yes. What in the world? Takes. I'm only worried about g4, bishop f4. Am I in trouble? And the winner is... How do I hold? Do I hold? Do I need to hold? Queen a5, queen takes c4. Is this getting crazy? It looks like it's getting crazy, but it looks interesting. I'm getting too frisky for my shirt, too frisky for my worth, too frisky. King h2, if he ever plays g4, we play bishop f4. King h1, queen h3. And now for something completely indifferent. Am I concerned? I am, of course, concerned. So this is still protected, that's still protected, that's not protected. That is what I was expecting. You're after me? For what reason? Dudovich. And now for something completely indifferent. I still haven't used my rooks. I'm spotting this guy 10 points. So I should take check, check, and there. And what has he got? Knight check, king moves. No, he's got it. So check, takes. Analysis board, ladies and gentlemen. Analysis board. Always go to the analysis board. Good. When this pops up, it means that I'm not playing a game. It wants me to get back in there to be paired with the game. What? "65 other players first." Alright, the Lee Chess Opening Explorer is somewhat disappointing me. Bishop d6, knight on g to e7, it did not like. Why is that? At a cursory glance, it didn't like it, but I disagree. Yeah, knight on g to e7 is worth more of a +3. I thought so.
Detective anomaly. Said. Low.
Detective Anomaly. Namaste.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for the
following.
follow.
Detective Anomaly. Said. I am Grandmaster Byte.
Great to have you. Grandmaster B, Hong Kong. Just working my way through it. I'll be right there. My opponents are not thinking very clearly. So here I expected g4, and I was going to have to play bishop f4 to save my bishop, I believe.
Detective Anomaly. Said. Nope, neither was I.
I like the name Detective Anomaly. It claims that it has this game, even though it's indexing X number of players first. So I reached this position previously with... No, there's no way. This has to be the current position, yes? Queen f5, queen b3, d takes c4, queen b7, castles. We're reaching 7-7. Queen takes g4,
Detective
queen h3. And I didn't have to play queen f5,
I played
but I
3
think
games,
so.
lost every against you. Any tips?
I believe you were doing well on one of them. Maybe yesterday, when I was all right, I apologize if I was going to say I was groggy and tired. But my youngest daughter came home and I picked her up at the airport late. and spent the afternoon with her, or spent the early evening with her. Rook on A to B8 was better, huh? Hard to believe. I kind of like my move. Knight on E to C6. It worked out well. Queen to B5 should have been white's play. That's a bad sign when you have to play that move. Yeah, it's all over. So it's mate in 5 if I play knight f4, huh? Yes, of course. Alright, I'm actually trying to play 200 games with every first move possible. Let's blow this up a little bit. And as black against e4, it still hasn't caught up. I should be at 1649 as black against e4. And with white, I should be at 2705. And I don't understand how long this is going to take to get all of my games into the index. Let's take a look at your games for a moment.
Detective Anomaly.
Let's just look at ours.
I want to open FIDE rating this year. What should I do? The tournament I want to play in is a month away. I play e4 mostly. Any tips?
So why didn't you play e4 against my h3? In this position, you're black, now playing white, with black having the move h6.
Pegasus sway.
So you should have played e4 here.
Hi, I'll have you try hit f5.
Right? Try at f5. Someone played it against me. But I think this is a useful move.
Detective Anomaly said, I was trying to play Queen's Indian.
Okay, there's a great one in my YouTube series where I talk in a short
Detective
about...
Anomaly said, I do poorly against d4.
Yeah, please subscribe on the YouTube channel for those, and try to do the exercises that we do in our learning playlists.
The key, not the move.
The key, not the move. f5. But getting back to Detective Anomaly, the openings are only a way of setting up the pieces, but you have to interact with your opponent appropriately. You can't just try to play an opening alone. So yeah, you were trying to play the Queen's Indian, but the names of those openings are very misleading. Everybody says, oh, I like to play this, or I like to play that. I even had a student last week, Detective Anomaly, who said, oh, I don't know how to play these positions. And I looked over it, it was a perfectly normal position, and I'm like, you know how the pieces move. So therefore you know how this position goes. You just need to find the best squares for your pieces. You have to control the center. You have to get your king safe, or be aware of your king safety if you're not sure which direction you're going to go with your king, king side or queen side. And basically, Detective Anomaly, you are going to be great. But I want you to separate yourselves from the trees and appreciate chess more as it is the forest, because the big picture of the forest is much more important to grandmasters and masters alike, because they know that they can't be worrying about this. For example, when I go through a patch with students, let's say in after-school classes or sunrise dojo, if I emphasize endgames, for example, guess what all the students do? They trade all the pieces ruthlessly to get to an endgame, which may not be winning. If I emphasize tactics and middle games, guess what they do? They don't exchange pieces. They make the position more complicated, and they usually lose control of the position. So because they focus on bits of the game at a time, they create their own personal tunnel vision. And you have to watch out for that tunnel vision. Yeah, you tried to play the Queen's Indian, but this isn't a Queen's Indian position because I played e4. I did consider that you were going to play the Queen's Indian. h3 would probably not be a useful move in the Queen's Indian. But in this particular position, I switched it up to what I thought was going to be in English. I was going to play c4, knight f3. I did consider bishop g2. knight on g to e7 and an iron English, and I needed you to play e5 in order to do that.
Said. Walking into CGPS shortly.
Have a great day, DG. I'm very proud of you and Sophia for doing everything that you can for girls chess. I was feeling a little guilty earlier that I can't schedule the time because I have lessons, unfortunately. Let's just see what I have today. And what in the world is going on? And basically, the way I have my current lesson structure set up, I am a little bit of a slave to my students because I will make almost every time work for them,
anomaly.
Including Anderson, because he's not able to do lessons during the week.
Growth. Said. Tomorrow we have more students. Growth.
Today is just the open. Yeah, it's good to be able to settle it. Yeah, all the under sections.
Said. As GM Tiger said last Thursday at the party, talk to the pieces.
Talk to the pieces, see what they need.
Detective
exactly.
Anomaly.
Find out what those pieces need.
And I recently switched to QGA.
Yeah, again, you're really fixed on these particular openings when you should be trying to get the most out of every structure. By the way, the Queen's Gambit accepted is also the C3 Sicilian. The Queen's Gambit accepted is also a Panov or isolated pawn variation Caro-Kann. The Panov is also Terrace defense. The Queen's Gambit accepted could also be a Terrace defense reversed in many cases. You have to know all of the openings. I would spend a certain amount of time just looking at master games. Absolutely looking at master games in a variety of positions, and then choose openings for a short period of time based on structure, and then change periodically every 6 to 8 weeks so that you can get, 4 to 10 games in if we have arenas, or just the 7 games during the weekday. That's why I have a limited number of games. I restricted myself to a limited number of games that I can play. Let's just see what happened here. I think you did great on the whole, but already we don't have a plan for our rook. This pawn should be helping you control the center. I was expecting you to break with f5 when you played knight h5, and then you did the right thing by exchanging, so f5 is still a very realistic possibility here. You need pawn breaks. As Philidor said, pawns are the soul of chess, but I will paraphrase him, and I'm honestly going to tell you that pawn breaks are the soul of chess. The conflict of the pawns is the soul of chess. Opening up lines for bishops on the very first move. And the queen, when you play e4, you open up a line for the bishop and the queen. And when you are approaching the position, you're approaching the position to maximize the coordination of all of your pieces. All right, last bit, Detective Anomaly. When you are playing, I want you to realize that it's not an instrument that you are playing. Each piece is like an instrument in a musical accompaniment. Whether that accompaniment is a small jazz band, like an endgame with a quartet or a trio, or if it's an orchestra, which is what we begin the game with, all of the pieces have to work together. All of those instruments have to be in harmony in order to succeed. And if you're not able to get all of the instruments, if you have not mastered all the instruments, not long ago, and I think it's still my weakness, I mentioned how awkward I was in rook and knight versus rook and bishop endgames. I seem to be misplaying those ever so slightly. I mean, I get it right, it's a 50-50, but I decided that perhaps I need to focus on endgames, or at least games ending in the ending, with bishop and knight versus rook. I'm sorry. Yeah, bishop and knight versus rook is a whole different story. But here, You were just focused on one thing. You got your tunnel vision in to go after me, and it doesn't really work out.
Oh, I missed f4, so I should have bought bishop on b7 and rook on h1 into game.
Yes, you missed f5. And that also gets your bishop into the game, and your rook into the game. And you might even place your queen carefully on the next turn, and this rook might even come to the open e file.
Said, have a nice day.
Please subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already, everyone. Ron, hey, ladies and gentlemen. DG Road. I thought I had a command for DG, but I'm going to have to look it up. I really thought I had a command. I have a command. I've been building commands for regular viewers. Knight to c3 was probably better, yes. I noticed how I did not coordinate my pieces. I was more concerned about you getting in. So c3, I'm overprotecting this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you appropriately enough went after my weakness on e4. But at the same time, you know, I did toss most of my advantage here, and you took advantage of it with bishop takes e4, queen e4, rook e4, and I did not play knight f4. I just simply chose the other continuation, which was b takes a5, and then I can just start barnacling. I've got an advantage in the endgame. I haven't exchanged more, and you blundered with rook takes c3 because you didn't see the pin to c8. Pinning pieces to squares. So you really just did not see the back rank weakness. You may also follow me on Chessable. I do believe in Chessable, by the way, for daily tactics workouts, daily endgame workouts, but I repeat, not openings. The more you focus on openings, the more you accidentally tunnel your vision away from improving your overall chess game. And that's unfortunately the way it works in a lot of cases. But meanwhile, let's get back to the tournament. I've been losing all week long in Blitz just because I think the anxiety over Tuesday's election has gotten the best of me. I am really concerned about the autocracy that may be in front of us. There may be no more elections in the United States. The Constitution of the United States may be amended or replaced. The Orange Menace may not survive. Namaste, Ron. Thank you, buddy. I do appreciate you. Get a few of those flying around. Namastes for Detective Anomaly. You just keep applying yourself routinely and every day. That's what the Daily Dojo is about. It's about having a fixed time to practice, and then you will arrange your study time. Now schedule your study time appropriately around your playing time, and try to dedicate a certain amount of 3 to 4 parts study to 1 part play. If you can, that would be ideal. Now, in previous weekends, we had quite a number in this.
Detective Anomaly said, "Thank you so much."
You are welcome. I hope to see you regularly, and I'm here to help you. I'm not going to give you any BS like you will get on a lot of the other stations, Like, there will be some YouTuber who will say, this opening wins every single time, and I really feel for Levy, Gotham Chess, since I've known him since he was a very young man. He only plays like 2 or 3 openings, and he has that same issue going for him, where most grandmasters who know him for these 3 or 4 or 5 openings that he plays, and he doesn't stray around it, he has this tunnel vision issue at the international master level as well. If he's going to become a grandmaster, he's going to have to expand his knowledge to more structures, more possibilities, and play those open Sicilians, which he hates, and really dig in deep to every possible way of playing. I believe I need a c6 for black against this too. I don't know that I got more than 1 yesterday. I will have to look. We are going to nullify this bishop. Our opponent is locking down on this square. I am a little, unfortunately, mortified by the fact that we are going to have some difficulty in getting this in. Not sure why he played a3. That's usually a move directed against knight to b4. So our opponent is once again only playing. We do want his white squared bishop, by the way. We do want that white squared bishop. I'm going to start trying to undermine this this knight. Now he's given us a solid footing here. Let's just make sure that he is exactly where he needs to be in this case. Is my queen trapped? We will find out. Yes, it does appear that my queen is trapped, but the good news is I will get something for it. And now for something completely different. What we get for it, I do not know yet, but we do have very active rooks. And now for something also incredible. What in the world? He is still pinned, by the way. Now he has pinned some more. So if I take and he takes and I take, I'm going to assume that was a mouse slip. Well, I wasn't going to take his queen because I knew it was a mouse slip. He did trap my queen. Queen takes c2 and not retreating was a little bit of a mistake. Robert FP, how are you? You have not yet finished negotiating a regular study schedule. I think I need to create a WhatsApp group for our but I haven't looked into the option of securing it. think he thought I was going to play knight takes. That's why he pre-moved queen to d3. So he really did mean to play queen to d3. He just didn't look at me attacking his queen and threatening his king with mate. I need 7 c3s as white, apparently. Let's see how many games are going. We have 3 games going. 6 players playing. Stefan Lahm and Charles Numero Uno battling it out yet again in some theory. The thing I do like about arenas is the ability to rehash an opening over and over again, not unlike a match format. So this is a good thing. I'm always looking for the positives here. Grandmaster BHK has the better of this one, even though he has the 2 knights. I'm not sure if that was the right way to go, but I understand what you're trying to do. Thought you might be relocating your knight to a better square.
Said, my game as well.
Yep. Checking you out up here. Stefan Lahm, and you're playing Stefano. So it looks as though Grandmaster B, although that might be your initials and not just Hong Kong. He's just really locking down on that E7 square, which is good. I'm sorry, I have to be on this screen to get another game. I am hoping to play at least one more game in the 6 minutes that are left. Maybe not. Let's just check this out.
Detective Anomaly said, me sit up.
Messed up? I don't think so. Oh, what happened? Oh no! Oh no, yes, this is a common problem that occurs when... And I thought the same thing. I could see myself doing that in a blitz game. But obviously, there was not necessarily that much of a threat as long as you didn't play rook to b... rook to b6. Forcing something to block on that square. I was fairly certain you were going to give your king more room by centralizing a knight. Or perhaps you could put a knight on d5. That also looks very interesting. Putting a knight on d5 could have been the shot. So let's see where we got to from here. So in this particular position, king here. Yes, you avoided that. We now know what our opponent's plan was. Our opponent's plan was to move his bishop to f6 and try to skewer you from the rear. Ouch. I don't think we're getting another game in 4 minutes. Not one that we can finish anyway. We're going to observe Grandmaster BHK. We're going to look at Charles Numero Uno managed to draw that last game with Stefan. I always want to help Stefan because he is, after all, an Olympian. So Charles did try sacrificing his pawn for activity. Little crude. c4, knight to b5. This knight is still hanging, so the c-pawn can't quite be taken. And try not to wake up your opponent's rooks. I love that rook sitting there. You don't have to put it on an open file in this particular case. I'm looking for something else. Maybe knight to d5. Rook takes d5. Get the other rook into the action somehow. We can't afford to trade pieces when we've sacked a pawn. Now why, oh why, did we do this to ourselves? That was interesting.
Detective Anomaly said,
We've made a recovery here as
looking
black.
forward for rapid tournament on morrow.
I think that will be very good for you. But remember to study these games. Look at these games again. Do the computer analysis. Do the learn from your mistakes. So for example, down here, always request a computer analysis. And although you might look through the game before you request a computer analysis, I don't have much of a choice, unfortunately. I don't think this was such a good move. I believe that we should have probably captured on well, the advantage isn't going away because a knight takes e6, is it? Yeah, g6 was a little bit of a blunder. And this game should be a draw, yes. And if you didn't have that move, it would have been all good. So again, what we're going to do is learn from our mistakes. And bishop to b8 was a little corny. He was trying for a little bit of a brute force method here. So I would have gone with a normal developing move like bishop a6 at worst. It believes we have even better. Really? White is slightly better here. What is going on in this position? Queen c7. d5. We needed the pawn break. But then again, it's very difficult to play because our opponent is getting 3 pawns to 1 on this side of the board. So I don't blame him for hesitating here. Queen takes queen. Bishop g5. Let's see the next one. Yes, bishop a6 was a mistake, waking up the rook. But what to do instead? That is the question. Maybe just bishop to c7. That's not the move they were expecting. They wanted to trade more pieces with knight to d7. And then put the pressure on d4. That makes sense. But it likes bishop c7 as well. Next. We already know that we should probably drive this knight back and ease our position in more than one way. We could always capture on the next move. We can capture again if we need to. But when we tie our queen down to the h7 pawn, that's no good. This is very tedious, to say the least. Queen f4. It's a tough call. A very tough call. But this pawn is hanging and it's very difficult to guard it. As well as the back rank. As well as the possibility of softening the squares around the king with queen to g4. Alright, so in this particular position, We played rook on a to b8, and I believe that he should have just played queen to g7. Oh, a5. Looks pretty put up. Trying to achieve counterplay. He's threatening rook takes c6 in this position, right? And rook to c7. So it looks as though we have to play bishop d5. What is the opponent's big idea? So after the move h4, he still did not play the move bishop d5. Even though it wanted us to play rook to b7. Capitalizing on our mistake. And now rook f7. And white is winning. Wow. White could have taken with check. In fact, it's very dangerous, because then rook check and rook to g7, and it's very hard for this king to stop this passed pawn, and we're losing another pawn. So it's pretty tough. So after rook to f8 check, just walk over and capture. Done reviewing black's mistakes, review white's mistakes. In this particular position, white had a very simple reply. Knight takes c6. Now that we see it from the other side of the board, white played knight e4, but in this position they had queen to g4. Doesn't threaten anything. Are they threatening our pizza? I do like knight e4. I don't blame him for playing knight e4. Black's threat is to play f6. Maybe it is queen to g4. Alright. Maybe it's rook e4. Oh. We can tag straight away. Nope. Nope. What are we looking for here, folks? Knight e4 does look like a good move, but it was played in the game. Aha, the weakness if he plays f6. Now white played h4 instead of playing rook takes c6. And then knight takes e6 instead of playing rook a1, a7. And of course, instead of rook f7, we have to throw in this in-between move. And if they play king 2, we're a leg up on this protecting our pawn business. And it's not stalemated. Pawn we're on g3. That would be a very good game. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, somehow we managed to succeed. We gained more rating points yet again on the weekend. And during the week, we're practicing much faster time control. Please check out and join the dojo. We will see. I will answer my WhatsApps immediately after. All right, we're going to go to our favorite study streamer. Maybe not. I don't know if they're really doing puzzles or not, but let's just check it out. Thank you everyone for being here. Cheers and ciao, the 8th world champion Mikhail. Ladies and gentlemen, a wonder, a brilliant, energetic, fiery young man. This is not entirely true. Modern chess brilliancies may include more games by Tal than any other player, but the Mammoth Book of the World's Greatest Chess Games actually has more games by Anand than any other player. So therefore, thank you all for being here. Cheers and ciao. It is great to see you. I did get a chance to see Tal in person many years ago. It was very, very cool. Let's roll the ending credits before we lose our chance. Cheers, everyone. Have a great weekend. Detective Anomaly. We may be back with a simul in just a few minutes, but we'll make that a separate stream. Cheers.